better than me. You better than me. You better than me.
What's good, everybody? It's your girl Fallon, and I am here with your girl Kristin, and we are with you bringing another episode of You Better Than Me, the podcast. Your girl is over here kind of in her feelings, though. Like, I'm scrolling all up and down my timeline, and all of my fellow HBCU friends are going to their homecomings. I done seen Howard. I'm sorry, the other HU, Hampton. I done seen my alma mater. I've seen like everybody homecoming, and I'm just kind of like, that nostalgia is kicking in. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, why ain't there?
Right, Fallon, why are you going to homecoming? I mean, homecoming, it's just so nostalgic. I actually, attended my homecoming recently, and I was so happy that I attended. I had a few reservations about going, but at the end of the day, I'm very happy that I attended.
Baby, I saw them Instagrams and these stories and these lives and these whatnots, and it looked like it was popping up in Kakalaki, Georgia.
Listen, we had a time. We had a time, honey. So, I mean, I kicked off my first party on Thursday in Atlanta. It was like a joint party with Clark Atlanta because it was their homecoming that particular weekend. And it was just lit that day. And then Friday I went down to Albany, and it was a good time. I had a good time.
It shows. I saw all the pictures. I saw the outfits, of course. Everybody know you be bringing the fashions. But baby girl, I had seen something that I had seen that I thought I had seen it, but I didn't know if I had really seen it. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I did see that. You had on a shirt that I had to like hold down my phone when the video was playing and be like, wait a minute. Maybe
what it say?
It says something about a homecoming hotation. I support homecoming hotations, and I'm sorry, the first people I thought about was the Q's at Southern. One in particular, I ain't gonna call his name out, but Lord. It just made me think about them. Did you get that shirt from an Omega?
I don't know if the person that was selling the shirt was at Omega. So I got the shirt a couple of years back. I actually wore it to a homecoming like a while ago, but I think when I wore it, maybe nobody was there. I don't know. That homecoming was pretty weird. So I was cleaning out my dresser, trying to get rid of, because I love graphic tees, trying to get rid of them. And I was like, oh shit, let me run this one back real quick. And so I was like, I'm gonna wear this I support homecoming hotations because I do support homecoming hotations. Here's my thing.
I support it.
I support it. As long as you are safe, that's the main thing. As long as you're safe, because my thing is, when you get to that yard, people be somebody totally different.
Girl.
And what I mean by that is, on Facebook, one day they might be married, but then the next day they ain't married. Now you at homecoming, they divorced. You didn't even know the people was divorced. It's like, I've been divorced for 3 years. I'm like, but you was just married 6 months ago.
Right. With a fresh baby. With a fresh out the cat baby.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't know. But I support it because we only have one life to live. I think I say this all the time. We have one life to live. And if you need some, then you might as well get some. So
do you really feel like just homecoming is one, the hotations? Do you feel like that's something that people look forward to, or like people actively participate? I ain't talking about our old school alumni who in their RVs with their little windsuits on, right.
but no, I think you could be talking about them too. You could be talking about them too, because listen, I don't know if you saw one of my stories, but it was some guy, I guess he played for I do not know football, Cowboys, and he won a Super Bowl. Now, this man was probably about older than my daddy, and I'm over there with them. They rolling cigars or whatever, giving us cigars, and he's showing off his ring or whatever. And if somebody would have said, what's up, he would have smashed the homie, not me.
Oh, my God.
I could just kind of tell, like, I think whatever happens at homecoming also stays at homecoming unless it can blossom into something different. So I'm not going to say that the people in the RVs ain't getting none, because somebody's smashing.
Oh, my goodness. See, and somebody is smashing. That's why Fallon is safely scrolling
So that's why you didn't go? Is that what
from
you're
home.
kind of saying?
No, I'm not saying that's not why I didn't go. I just feel like right now at this point in my life, I'm kind of like not far removed, but far removed. Like I have the
Right.
nostalgia. I have like my best homecoming memories, 2019 when I got my little 40 under 40 award and like was on the field
Okay.
at homecoming. These are the memories that I feel like I could tap out because I feel like I not aged out, but like kind of hit the roof of achievement. So I'm like, all right, you on super alumni status right now. And I kind of am just like, yeah,
You are not on super alumni status.
I
Like
feel
I
like
get the
I
fact
am.
that you won an award, but listen, like I said, it was people down there 50, 60, 70 years old having a good time. So maybe it's because could it be that it's because you are in your winning season of this engagement, the freshness is there, you guys are in love, and maybe you just don't even want them to you don't want no outside noise. Because if that's the case, I totally get it. Because it's a lot of outside noise at homecoming.
I, I think that I've probably risen above being able to be distracted or let it
Okay.
by outside noise. But I do feel like my focus is on the present and more
Okay.
so than the past. Like I'm gonna pay my alumni dues. I'm gonna do what I do and rep my university regardless of what stage I'm in life because that's blood is blue and gold basically. So that's gonna always be the thing. But when people started asking me like, was I going? My response really was, girl, I'm trying to get married, or girl, I'm worried about this wedding.
Right.
I'm not really worried about that. Like everybody that I was cool with that was monumental is still monumental. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
people that I see in passing or just like people that I have like memories with that, always good to reconnect or like relive a certain time in history. But I just feel like I'm more so in the present. Now I do enjoy hearing about people rotations and I do enjoy hearing about the adventures of other people who may not be similarly situated or who are in the same season that I'm in. But shoot, I know friends who are married that are going and husbands aren't going or like just out there like, oh, I'm going to homecoming. I just don't feel like I want to.
So I'm just asking you. So on today's date, whatever it is, are you saying that Fallon Hamilton is not going to homecoming again? Is it?
No,
That's a wrap.
no,
You're
no.
not
I'm
saying
not.
that. Okay.
No,
As
I'm
long
not
as you're not
saying
saying that, I'm
that.
okay.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not going again. I
Okay.
just feel like I'm in a different place, so my reasons for going would be completely different. My
Understandable.
reasons would be probably the philanthropy, or I would go to like the award ceremony, or I would go do some community cleanup or something like that. Like my desire to just relive the campus life and everything. I guess maybe Facebook got me jaded because I feel like
Yeah, that's why I don't be on it.
I feel like I'm still in the mix with all the people from college. Now, granted, it's always love when I see people or have like memories, but
Right.
I ain't gonna say that I'm running from who I was, but I will say that I'm very content in who I have became. And I just don't have that strong desire anymore. Like I think about it and then I kind of am like, yeah, that's cool, but how would I be able to bring this new person into my life here? Like this is not who
Mm.
I am anymore. Like it's gonna be awkward, not awkward in a bad way, but just like when you go to school, people calling you your old name, like you're
Right.
your former self, like you're opening up your former self, and I'll bet I have no regrets. I'm very much so grateful for every experience that I've had, the good and the bad, even the shit that I wish didn't happen. I can't even lie and be like, well, damn, if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. Like, I can't say
Mm-hmm.
that I wouldn't be where I'm supposed to be at right now.
Right.
But the things that I probably was clinging to, like just the ideas of what made me so excited to get back to campus, that level of freedom of just or even just like the feeling of euphoria, like no responsibilities, no accountability, things like that. I'm just not that no more. I don't even like being around people who are so closed-minded that they can't let go of the idea of who you were then.
Yeah.
Like, child, I'm grown now. Like, I'm 40. Like, I don't want to be around people that still riding the Baton Rouge high horse and never evolved past being the most popular person on Pretty Wednesday in front of the union. Like, I don't, it just doesn't appeal to me. I feel like we live so much outside of what has happened since then that it just really doesn't just appeal to me now. If all of the homies got together and we're like, oh, we're taking our families, we're gonna be in an RV, we're gonna cook, we're gonna be on some family stuff, then probably yes, Fallon, Hamilton, Vaughn would go. But I just don't see the Vaughn family packing up the RV anytime soon and going to relive either one of our glory days, his college or mine. Like, I feel like we're very in tune with the present.
Well, different strokes for different folks. I'll leave it at that. But because that's happening, you feel free to live, throughout all of my wild, and I do mean, let me stop. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. But yeah, you already know about my rotations. Boom, there we go.
See, and it's just like you already proclaimed that you're embracing your season of singleness.
I am.
You are grown, accountable, safe.
Yep.
You know how to move without endangering your life or your well-being. So why not? Why not have that fun? But then the back of my mind, even with that, I'm like, are these niggas really living these lives outside of these 3-day weekends? Like, or do y'all going
now
back to
that
family?
is something to definitely think about, because like, what do you do if you had a homecoming rotation and everything is good, you living in the moment, because that's really what it is, you living in the moment, like all the hype just got you hype or whatever, and you have your little rotation. Maybe you didn't ask, or maybe you did ask. So let's just say you didn't ask, so you don't know if the person is in a relationship, married, whatever, or you did ask and the person said that they are not in a relationship, married, or whatever, and you find out later that that person is actually married or in a relationship. What do you do?
I would be probably, I would feel disgusted. I don't think we are in the, like, you wouldn't have the right to hate on them or like start some drama. I don't think, because karma gonna get your ass anyway. But I would feel so just conflicted or like just used up. And honestly, that's why I know the kids don't really be on the Facebook, but Annie be on the Facebook. I
don't be on the Facebook at all. Like,
you get all your intel, all your information.
You really do. I have to get it from my friends.
You gotta see the fresh babies. You gotta see the wedding pictures. You gotta scroll in the profile to see the proposal. You gotta do all of those things. And just as a single woman, or even a single woman trying to find or reconnect with somebody, homecoming could quite possibly be the place that you reconnect with somebody, or even meet somebody new that could be your person. But you still gotta be navigating the terrain very wisely. Like, some stuff you just can't wish upon a star with. Like, I don't want to have to go anywhere and worry that it's people out with their rings in their back pockets, or like just trifling shit like that. But that's at every event, not even just homecoming.
That's at every event. I definitely feel you. I think that, like, if I found out, let's just say if I had a rotation at homecoming, hypothetically speaking, if I had a homecoming rotation at my homecoming and I found out that said person was married or in a relationship, and I didn't ask him prior, there's nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at that point, the onus was on him to say, I'm in a relationship. Do you want to continue with this rotation or not? But if I didn't ask, I don't feel any type of way. That's on them at that point. Now, if I was on Facebook and I saw they had a fresh baby out the cooch and I see them together, whatever, then, that's on me, because since you knew about that.
You're right.
But I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. I actually had seen like a meme, or not a meme, but I don't even, what the kids call it when you see the little quotes and whatnots on the Instagram.
It
I
ain't
saw
no meme. I thought it
one.
was a meme.
Oh, it might be. I saw
Okay.
one that Therapy for Black Girls had posted, and I shared it in my story about like homecoming anxiety. And one of the things that like stood out was that you should remember that everyone is performing the best version of themselves. So all the shit going on behind the scenes may or may not be reality.
That's
Another
true.
thing they put about the homecoming stuff, and I think it applies to any big event,
Right.
any professional event, NBA conferences, the lawyers conferences, Black Caucus, like all these things. I feel like that applies to. But for homecoming in particular, it's like embrace the past, but don't live in it. And I don't want to live in it. And I know a lot of people, it appears, are still living in it. Like that's what I mean when I say like I'm very much so in the presence. I don't want to be anywhere where people are still stuck on what was when
I will say I didn't get that experience from homecoming at all. Like I think honestly, this was the best homecoming for me in a long time. I felt like everybody was really just there, to have fun. And it really felt like, yo, we don't have fun because we don't know if it's going to be our last time. Like it felt really genuine. Like nobody was really bringing up, man, I used to play football. I used to run the ball. Like it was nothing like that. It was more so like, yeah, I have kids. This is what I do, when I get back home, blah, blah, blah. Or, Monday, man, I'm so tired from homecoming, or those wings was good. Like it was nobody living in the past, including myself. And I do feel like, with that rotation, you think about, of course, because you knew this person in the past, but you don't know them, who they are, especially if they don't live where you live or you're not following them on Facebook. So it's like, you might have been a mystery. Like I may have known you in undergrad, but you may have also been a mystery to me then. And you just might be a mystery to me now because I have no clue what you got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I'm just going to say I had a good time at homecoming. I will say prior to homecoming, I did go to another event that you mentioned, like professional events. So it was Congressional Black Caucus in the DC area. And girl, I had another time and I probably need to be sitting down somewhere reading a book because I've been in the streets.
But see, you're in that season. This is your time to explore and like, just be free. Like you ain't gotta just be wilding out.
No.
Like nobody is saying you just gotta be out here dancing on no table. But just like meeting new people and putting yourself out there, exchanging energy, seeing new things, getting new ideas. Like nothing is wrong with that. I don't think it's a problem. But I do feel like a lot of those events, people be going for some sham. And
so you're saying that though, but would you, because I know some people allow their spouses, partners, whatever they want to call them, to have a pass while they're not around. So like CBC,
baby,
I wonder how many people had a pass. I feel like I really didn't see too many attractive men during CBC this year. I don't know what was going on. I don't know where they were at.
Now, I've heard of people doing that, like weekend passes or like a celebrity smash pass or things of like that. But hell no. Me and this nigga gonna be married when I'm asleep, when I'm up, when I'm laying down, when I'm here, when I'm there, when I'm everywhere. Up in the Dr. Seuss book, when I'm
no passes.
Whatever, no passes. And I know he feel the same way. Like, we've talked about that before, and hell no. Like, if you gotta take a pass with somebody, what the fuck you marrying them for? Like, be with that person.
No, not that I agree with, because I have this conversation all the time with people. It's like, especially men, like, why are you really getting married if you still want to go out here and have sex with multiple women? Like, why not just be single? Like, just be single and you don't have anyone to answer to. Or are you just doing this because society tells you that you need to get married to, get ahead at your job or to look better in society? But that whole pass thing, I like to tell every guy that I talk to, I am a true ass Gemini. A lot of the things that they say about Gemini, that's me.
Crazy.
That's me. But my thing is, once you introduce a game, I say this to anybody, I am very loyal. But once you introduce a game to me, put me in the game, coach, because Geminis are notorious for playing mind games. And I always tell people, and it may be crazy, but I always tell people, I cheat back. So if you're going to cheat, just know I got to get my lick back because I am not Michelle Obama. I got to go low, baby. I'm sorry, because when I was being
go high when they go low.
You wanted to play games, and I don't play checkers. I play chess. So listen,
Lord have mercy.
So I always like to be very upfront about that. I know I may not be the bigger person, but the bigger person don't never win. Now you don't get no medal for being. You want to not win a medal for being the bigger person. There's so many people out here being the bigger person, and what you got?
They feelings hurt.
Heartbreak. That's what you got.
Being stressed and depressed.
Right. So no, you can't get no passes. I wouldn't have no passes, but I do think that it is very important for men and women to go on their, men's trips, women's trips. I think having that time either by yourself or with your boys is something that can be very positive. But again, you have to know your man, you have to know your relationship, and you have to know, understand, and you have to respect those boundaries that you guys have in place if there are any.
Yeah, I agree. I think that to an extent, I'll say to an extent. Now, I don't see myself, just like the homecoming, I don't necessarily feel comfortable putting myself in places where I know that the past is going to be the overarching theme of the event.
The girls trip?
Well, no. Not saying just the girls trip, just in general. Like, I don't want to be anywhere where the focus is on what once was, or where people may have it twisted about what I got going on, or maybe think that just because we on the yard, that we on some on the yard shit. Like, I don't want anybody that is not grown up and progressed past that dumb shit to even have the opportunity to be around me. That goes for just like different things, like a Essence Festival, or like somewhere MLK weekend, a ski trip. Like I feel like a lot of those places people go with the mindset, or intent that it's a possibility that some shit's gonna pop off. So I don't necessarily want to put myself in any position where that shit's happening. Not saying I would do anything, because I wouldn't. Like I didn't waited too long for this nigga. What the fuck I look like jeopardizing anything, like at all. At a minimum, I would want to be with my homegirls if we're doing something like celebrating a birthday or doing something like that. But even then, I know when I'm not gonna feel comfortable, I'm not gonna go on like, oh, it's the get your Stella getting her groove back trip. I'm not gonna do that. No. I'm not gonna go with all of my single homegirls to fucking Coco Cabana or Carnival.
Right. Yeah.
Like, some things you just, I feel like you gotta put up when you are serious and moving in your relationship, like boundaries.
I agree.
I wouldn't expect him to be like, man, the boy's going down to Brazil, it's Black Beach Week. Like,
right. Because that's gonna be a problem.
Right, like we doing all of this. I would literally side eye him. Now, okay, it's the bachelor weekend, but honestly, I feel like he's kind of on the mindset that I'm on. We're very much so focused on our present, like the friends and everything. Like, you're gonna be there for your friends and whatnot, and people.
Well, I feel like that's not even just so much present. That's more so future.
Well, yeah.
I feel like that's more so future. Like, hey, we focus on building what we have, and especially like just knowing your story. You got two people that want to be in a relationship, and that's the thing. When you want to be in a relationship, you want to make it work. Then all of these outliers you can push to the side, and you can say, "Hey, we ain't doing that." But let me throw a monkey wrench in there. Oh wait, do we need to pay the church's bills?
We gotta pay the church's.
We got to pay the church's bills. We'll come back with that monkey wrench. Probably heard of our sister company, Pyro Media Network, where some of the best rising star creators are streaming next level content. But have you ever wondered how they are produced? Have you ever wanted that same top quality content creation, photography, video production, and more for your brand? Don't take another second to debate. Book your wedding photographer or videographer, create a promo for your business, or get your special occasion film in the most beautiful way possible. Visit www.pyromediaproductions.com or call 323 405-3820 to schedule a free consultation and let us take your project to the next level.
Throw that
Okay.
monkey.
Yes, let me throw the monkey wrench. So we talked about the boys' trips, girls' trips, homecoming, whatever. But would you allow your significant other, partner, husband, man to be, a chance at having sex with his number one top celebrity? Can he bust down?
Ooh, and me and him talk about that all the time, and he give me the
I like that
crazy
y'all have
look.
these conversations. I love
Yes,
that for y'all.
but he be side-eyeing the fuck out of me. Like, he's like, girl, the fuck? What are you talking about? What the hell? He said, I'm already out here, can't even watch Inside the NBA because I want to whoop Chris Webber ass, because that was like my
Webber's been
celebrity.
fine, baby.
That was like my celebrity, because he already like, I already want to whoop Chris Webber ass on site. Like, no, we not doing that. I don't think so. I don't want to be with no other man, and he don't want to be with no other woman. And
Period.
unless I asked him, I drilled him. I was like, baby, who was your crush? Who? Like, name somebody. Like, you had to be looking at somebody when you were growing up. Like, it took weeks, months. And I think he literally just was like, oh, well, yeah, I did think I had a crush on maybe Maya and like Ashanti. And I'm like, okay, you're a normal red-blooded black man. Like, okay, now you're not sounding like an alien. Because before I was like, see, now you faking the funk, nigga. Like, somebody had to have attracted you at all. But even then, he was like, yeah, but I wouldn't care. They're just there. Like, all right, they were fine, and that was it. And moving along, I already got a bad bitch. I'm already married to the finest woman in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, baby. But no, I would not. Now, all these TV shows and stuff where they like, oh, what was it? Indecent Proposal? Was that like a movie or something? Where somebody offered them $1 million to sleep with their wife or something.
I never saw that, but I know there was a TV show recently. I don't know the name. It may have been on like MTV or VH1, where like you go in with your spouse, or not your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and then they put you in a room to meet other people, and you had to see if you were going to stay with your person. And I was watching that, and that show was very interesting, because some people were there because like one person didn't want to get married and she didn't want to have kids. But then when he got introduced to somebody else, it was kind of like, well, this person wants this. Maybe I should move over here. We're more compatible. And whoever did the casting, and it may have been fake, but whoever did the casting for the show, it seemed like they did a really good job, because some of these people were like extremely compatible.
Oh, wow. See, we wouldn't even go.
Right. You wouldn't go there, because what they say, when you looking for something, you'll find it or whatever.
Yeah, and I knows what I wants and what I got, and I ain't looking nowhere. If I had to wait 40 years, you think I'm gonna fuck something up like that? No, I'm not. I have no desire. I wouldn't even go on a show like that, and he would cuss my ass out if I even insinuated asking like, baby, but they gonna pay $40,000. He'd be like, we can do that. We can get that on our own. Like, he wouldn't do it.
I don't think I have a celebrity crush that I would just go crazy over anyhow. Like, I think, I don't know, men and women are so different. Like, I don't know, I feel like for me, when it gets to the whole taste, you got to have something that's gonna make you even, spend a block for somebody. So I like Usher a lot, but I don't think like Usher would be somebody that I'd be like, oh, I'm willing to risk it all. Like, I don't know anybody who I would be willing to risk it all for. It's definitely not Usher, because that's not really even my makeup. You know what I'm saying? My makeup is a tall, dusky.
Oh, here you go.
Child, you know my type.
Shout out to the people, if y'all know someone who fits the MO.
And shout out to y'all if you was my type, but you ain't no more.
Right. Once we come on the end of that season of singleness, Lord, if you're listening and manifesting and wishing upon a star.
Yes, Lord. Please don't give me no little man that I can fit in my purse. Ooh, Jesus, no.
You're so silly. You're so silly. Anyways, to answer your question, I say absolutely damn not. With no weekend passes, no celebrity passes, no nothing, because how would I lay down with you when you got back? Like, the hell? What, like, I wouldn't even want to touch you. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's Nia Long or whoever, like, you playing with my man. I don't care. Like, are you crazy? Like,
Okay, let me throw another monkey wrench. What about those people? Like, I think it was on some movie where they were just like, oh, if we was married for like 15 years, then I could blah, blah, blah on year 16.
yeah. Listen, you better be and I'll say that I'll get to the money line early. You better than me if you think I'm gonna let your black behind do anything just because we've been together XYZ amount of years. That's just like me being like, well, at year 25, you got the 25-year itch. Go on and scratch it. Negro, please. Like, I just do not believe in it. Like, I know we're not like the generation like our great grandparents,
Right.
when they had to sit around and knew Big Daddy had some other kids on the other side of town and all this shit, and you had to stay because you didn't have no education or no money or no means. Like,
Okay, so that's bringing another monkey wrench in, and I just want the people to know, Fallon and I, we get on these podcasts and we let the vibes lead us. You know, we have a little outline sometimes of things we want to talk about, but if we're not feeling it, we're not feeling it. So I know this conversation started off about homecoming rotations and we taking a little turn, but I'm just happy that y'all here for the ride with us.
but it makes sense.
It makes sense. It all, you know, it's all encompassing. So we're going to bring it back together. So you just mentioned Pop having a baby on the other side of town. You know, that happens all the time. You know, people don't want to talk about it, but it happens all the time. So do you think, or are you, not do you think, because this is not about thinking, this is about doing. Are you the type of woman, if Pop or whomever, you find out that they got a baby on the other side of town, what is you doing? Is you staying or you leaving? I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now.
In this day and age, I feel like the level of betrayal would be so strong that there's no way that I would be able to do anything but kill him. And
not on this podcast. Tighten that up. Say something else.
Well, no premeditation.
Thank you. She did not mean
it. None of the elements are there. None of that. You know, I had no intent, no malice. My mens rea wasn't mens reaing. These are all hypotheticals. Hypothetical. Not hypothetical, but hypothetical. But I just feel like the amount of love that I have for that man and the amount of love that we have in our union, for something like that to happen, it would be so devastating that it would probably kill a part of me, and I would not be able to fake the funk or make amends or anything like that. Like, it would literally destroy me. And I know you can't put all your hope in no person. Like, your hope is in the Lord. Whatever. We humans, we make mistakes, but I genuinely think that he and I would not be making this level of commitment to each other if we both didn't want to do it. If we both didn't think like all the things were sacred like that. We could be a million places. We could be doing a million things, and we are making a conscious decision to do life with each other. So any discretion, any foolishness of the source would completely not rock the boat. It would fucking overturn the boat.
So that's your boundary.
Break it out. Hell yeah.
Okay. I think that's good to say, because, you know, even with everything that we just talked about, like, if someone is listening and your man did attend Albany State homecoming and he participated in the rotation, and you find out that he participated in the rotation, are you staying or are you forgiving, and are you forgetting? And then, of course, it makes it even more difficult if you're actually in a union, you know, you're married, because a lot of people will say, you know, things happen. Because I always say, when you get up there and you take your vows, if you're taking Christian vows from the Bible, and they say for better or for worse, to me, the for worse is not cheating. It's just not. And that's why I said I cheat back, because you can't say that that's the for worse. It's just not. And I feel like so many people want to act like the for worse is cheating. That's not.
No, it is not. It is not. And after witnessing my parents' 40-year relationship and seeing like my daddy literally dwindle away and die, I know what for worse means. Exactly. I know what loving better or worse means. The better when he healthy, the worst when he on his deathbed and I'm still having to love this person and
Or
like pour
losing a
into them.
job or going through mental
Yes.
illness that wasn't there,
Like
or health issues or family passing
genuine
away.
genuine
Right.
worse. I feel
That's
like
the for
that ain't
worse.
no worse. That ain't no worse. That's some shit you done concocted on your own and got yourself into. The worst is some stuff that's beyond your control, like some shit that's really
Exactly.
some real stuff. And that is not no for worse.
And see, I just wanted to put it out there because I think that people often forget, and this is something that I always say, when you are participating in rotations or whatever else, you are making a decision. Like I just had this conversation with somebody. Like there is nothing that I am ashamed of. There's nothing that I'm ashamed of, but there are some things that I may not be proud of. And the reason why I say it like that is because I made a conscious decision. Nobody put a gun to my head. Nobody did anything. So when we say this for worse, if nobody is forcing you to do it, you literally made a decision. So as we tie this thing back together and we just sat up here and we just said that, your boundary is cheating, I would like to pose to everyone listening, like, and we've talked about boundaries before. This is just totally on another level. But, with this, all of these events that happens that you or your spouse, man, whatever woman may go to, is that boundary still in place? Is that boundary all encompassing? Or, are you allowing people to get a pass? Are you allowing yourself to get a pass? Are you making a cognizant decision to step outside of whatever it is that you have and do something else just for a few minutes or a few hours of pleasure and fun?
Ooh, that's a heavy.
That's why I'm single, people. She's single.
Yeah, that was very heavy. I feel like as a union or in a union, every decision that we are making, whether we're together or apart, ultimately affects us as a union. Mm-hmm. So he always says to me, like, we're a team. Like, you just not out here for you no more. You got to move like you're in a union. Like, right. I have my moments where I will make a decision like single Fallon, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store and I'm not gonna tell him and I'm gonna just be gone and I'm gonna go to 8 stores and not let him know. And it may sound very simple or like from somebody on the outside looking in, like, well, damn, why you gotta tell him where you at? Like stuff like that. But ultimately, it's like, okay, well, what if something happened when you went here, and then I don't know where to find you, or your car broke down, and then now I don't know that you was here. I'm thinking you here, and you X, Y, Z.
I can't track your steps, right?
Like it's just the learning that the decisions that you make have to be made as a union in your mind. Like you got to keep that on the forefront of your mind. Like if I were to say, baby, I want to go to a writing conference, like that wouldn't be no decision that I would make on my own. That would be something that we would talk about. We would be like, okay, well, what are the benefits? Is this going to help you? Is this going to do this? Like, who's going to be there? Like, where will you be? Like, will it be safe? Like, we're going to have a discussion about it. Now, if we deem that it's something that's going to be beneficial ultimately for our union, then, hey, I'm going to do it. But if it's something that seems suspect, oh, well, we're staying in the woods, it's going to be 10 random men I don't know, and then 9 ladies that I ain't never met, and we just going to be in the woods writing.
Now, you better get taken.
Right. Like some stuff is just not going to add up. It's just not going to make sense. Now, maybe a single me would have been like, YOLO, I want to go right in the woods with some strangers or whatever. But I don't know those people. I don't know those men. I don't know those women. I don't know what potential situation they could put me in. Yeah, like, because they don't know what I'm on. So you got to be careful. Like, you got to move a certain way. Like, he always tell me you got to move a certain way. And I know he probably would be sitting around with his chest poked out like, oh, she been listening. But as much as I fight against it or don't want to move or whatever, or believe that you got to move a certain way, like, it's real. Like, I've seen examples come to life right in front of my face where I'm like, damn, he did say that. Or like, dang, this does make sense. So you really have to evaluate every activity or like every step that you take in. Like, it's just not single me no more. Like, I just can't be all willy-nilly out in the streets like, oh, 2 of my homeboys called me and they want to go get drinks right now. Like, some stuff I really got to think about, like,
Right.
who are the homeboys? What are we going to be talking about? Where they going to want to go? Like, things are different. And
Yeah.
it just is what it is. And that's just one of the things you got to accept when you are preparing to move into, like, your season of union. You can't operate like that. There are sacrifices that you got to make. Like, it may not be a real sacrifice or like a big sacrifice, but some stuff like not going to the club with your homies might be a sacrifice, or just carrying yourself differently. Like, okay, let me not walk outside with my booty shorts on. Let me put my house coat on when I go out there to move the car. Like, it may seem silly to me, but then when I think about the bigger picture and know that his mind is on protecting me and protecting us,
Right.
I feel comfortable and confident. I don't feel stifled with none of those decisions or sacrifices that I have to make. Like, just giving up happy hour every night or happy hour every week, or just going out. Like, some stuff you can't do. Like, you can't move that way. You can't be out here moving like a single person when you're not single. And you see people who are married out there, and you be like, dang, this boy always out, or dang, where's his wife at? Like, dang, like, he
Girl.
moving like no married man. Like,
And that's even on Facebook too.
yeah,
I'm not on
that's
there
just in
often, but when I
general.
am, it's like, ain't he married? Like, he'll never post no picture of his wife, but he got
Like,
pictures of everybody else.
I don't ever want to be forgotten or, just ignored because somebody don't want to make no sacrifice and stop going to Hooters every
Wow.
Wednesday.
It's funny that you said that because I was watching this TikTok. Y'all know I'm obsessed watching the TikTok. And when you mentioned the word sacrifice, that's what the guy said. He was like, I can't hang out with my homeboys all the time. He was like, I had to make a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is for me to have, a good woman, somebody that's holding me down. So,
Yeah.
As we bring it all back together, you go to the events, you go to the homecomings, the CBCs, the lawyer, conferences or whatever. But if you really got something going on at home or whatever, that's the sacrifice. It's also the commitment that you said that you were going to make. And I definitely think that that's what you should be honoring. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it. And I like that you guys are moving with love. Another TikTok I saw, this guy, he was like, I want to make sure that my wife knows that she can never outlove me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like, I want that type of love. And it was just, he was like, every day I'm going to be working to outlove her. She ain't going to never outlove me. He was like, I'm going to get tired doing this. I was like, okay. And I know seasons change and relationships go through things, but, just having that mindset, having those conversations, having that good foundation on, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to accomplish. And, we're trying to do this together. I think that's amazing. So you are better than me if you can sacrifice your relationship for, 2 days of fun, a weekend conference of fun, and end up losing everything, because that can totally happen.
Yes. And baby, the sacrifices are not going to stop what you ultimately are going to become. I feel like if you destined for greatness, you're going to be able to network where you want to. You're going to be able to rotate and reevaluate situations, where you're going to show up, where you're going to go, who you're going to be around. Like, that stuff makes a difference. Like, I could love you to death, but Quita, if all you want to do is take me to the Hole in the Wall club where you can try to meet men, knowing that I'm a married woman, and you put me in all these situations where all these people in my face, I'm not saying that I would do nothing. I'm not saying that temptation gonna lure me away, because it's not. But it's still the atmosphere. It's still disrespectful. I don't want to be moving no way that's gonna make my union seem like it's not solid. And I think people really don't think about that. We're really stuck on like the independence and all that. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. Like, it ain't even about that. Like, I feel like you genuinely have to make sacrifices for what you want. Once you find that person that you want to build with and have a future, like, sacrifices are ultimately the most important thing. And if it's giving up going to grooves on a Friday after work every week with everybody just because that's what y'all always been doing and that's what y'all always gonna do, then so be it. And people should respect that. People should not bat an eye when you bow out respectfully from different things because, like I said, you got to move different. Your mind got to move different. The people that you are around, like, I'm not saying ditch your single friends, or I'm not saying ditch your
Yes, because you better not ditch me because I'm going to be mad.
Like,
I'm going to do a whole podcast on you.
Right, that's not what you do. Like, you don't have
Right.
to ditch anybody. It's not that. It's just that people need to know that you're moving differently. You're on something different. And
Agreed.
Don't call me a million times and make me feel guilty because I'm not on the yard this weekend. Like, I'm cool. Like, yeah, I want to wear me some paraphernalia, my little Jaguars, my little blue and gold or whatever, or I want to go and stand up in line to get into the parties, whatever. But don't shame me for that. Like, I'm happy. I'm good where I'm at. And I guess I need to be a little bit more gentle with myself too while I'm having those feelings of FOMO, because ultimately I ain't missing out on nothing. It ain't nothing there that I would want to be doing than what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Ain't no sacrifice. Ain't nothing worth trading it in for. It. I don't give a damn if it's 1 million boot-in malls and 1 million get-in free before 10 parties. Like, I wouldn't trade this life for nothing. I'm grateful for everything that was, but you better than me if you about to lead your girl into the belly of deception or shame me because I want to sit this round out just because I'm on something different or I'm entering a new chapter. I think people should, respect that and understand it. Ask me if I'm going. No, I'm not going this year, or no, I'm not going to be there. And just say, oh, okay, cool. That's it. Period. Sentence. We'll see you next time, or see you whenever you do go, or whenever y'all go, because it ain't just going to be a you going. It's going to be, you got to ask about a y'all. What y'all going to do? Y'all going to homecoming? Y'all doing this? And the rotations, what it was, when it wasn't. But
right.
There's a season for everything. Now, I'm going to sit up and want to hear all the details, of course, offline, but, I can't rock the I supported t-shirt no more because that's not the life I'm living.
Not the life you're living.
And then ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, I would just like to thank the people for rocking with us today. I hope everybody has enjoyed their homecoming season. Not sure when you guys are going to be hearing this, but I hope you enjoy your homecoming season. If you went to CBC, I hope you enjoyed that. I would just like to remind you guys to make the best decisions unless you're in your season of singleness and you want to have a little rotation here or there, and you're single, go for it.
Rotate safely. That's my only ask. Rotate safely.
Thank y'all for rocking with us, and we will definitely check you all out on the next episode. Bye.
You Better Than Me is a podcast on Pyro Media Network, produced by Pyro Media Productions. Pyro Media Network and Pyro Media Productions are subsidiaries of Pyro Media Enterprises. For more information, please visit www.pyromedianetwork.com. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next.